One of the questions that I hear all the time and one of the biggest negotiation fears people have is, how do you know you're being reasonable when you're negotiating for a higher salary? And I've got an answer. I spend nearly all of my week researching job search tips, advice, strategies. I actually get paid to do it full time. So this is what I've heard from the experts. So there's this fear that if you ask for something too high, a company is going to think badly of you and maybe risk rescinding the offer. This is especially true for women, and Harvard Business Review actually released an article that details how men and women face a different social cost when negotiating. Women are much more likely to receive backlash for trying to negotiate their salary. The reality of a salary negotiation is that companies almost always expect you to negotiate regardless of your gender. Key to sounding reasonable when you're asking for more is to make sure you've done your research beforehand, and there are 3 ways that I would suggest you go about doing this. The first is market aggregators. These are sites like Levels.fyi, H-1B Salary Database, Alpha Salary Database, PayScale, Glassdoor, Salary.com. The second is by reviewing job postings for similar roles in states that have salary transparency laws, because these postings have to include a range for that role. And the third, and this is scary, I know, is talking to people, specifically people in a similar role or a similar industry. And there's a specific way to do this. You don't have to outright ask somebody what they're making, but you could tell them a bit about the position you're interested in and ask them, based on your experience, based on what you know, how much would you expect a position like this to earn? If you're going into a negotiation with a good idea of what the market averages are, there is a very minimal chance that you're going to end up asking for something unreasonable. And I will say, if the number that you're asking for doesn't make you at least a little bit uncomfortable, you are probably not asking for something high enough.